Hi, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Well, the season is officially over. So now starts the postseason. And the first thing on the agenda, besides pro days and all that other stuff, is free agency. Again, let me explain the salary cap. Browns are a little over, nothing that isn't too manageable. They will restructure, they will extend, and they will work their way to creating cap space to sign either their own free agents or other free agents. They will make trades. Apparently, Andrew Berry doesn't like second round draft picks. In the last 2 years, he's traded for 2 wide receivers. So let's start looking at our available free agents. And I'm talking realistically. Now, you got to remember, Andrew Berry, he looks for young guys coming off their rookie season, think Okoronkwo, or they like value. Look at Shelby Harris, Mo Hurst, Juan Thornhill. Those were all value free agent signings. So, quarterback position. We'll start on offense. Next show, we'll do defense. All right, let's start with the quarterback. Not a good group. Kirk Cousins ain't happening. Baker Mayfield, no way in hell. Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew, those 2 guys seem like bridge quarterbacks for teams who are going to draft a rookie. Then you bring in them, just like Jacoby Brissett, he's available. Jameis Winston. I don't see anybody on this list that excites me except Joe Flacco. Now, he has already expressed interest in coming back. The Browns would love to have him back. I think he would be perfect. You let him sit around, let him take offers from other teams. If somebody's going to offer him a starting job, if somebody's going to offer him a backup job, he might as well just come back to the Browns. Makes perfect sense. He's good in the locker room. Everybody loves him there. So I don't really see him signing him prior to OTAs and all that other stuff. He doesn't want to come in here and work OTAs. He doesn't need to. All he's got to do is be signed and ready to go by training camp. All right, so running back. All right, you got 3 guys already on, 4. You got 4 guys already signed. Of course, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Pierre Strong, and Mr. Preseason, John Kelly. None of them have guarantees. Would you like to see a veteran running back come in? I would. Are you going to get rid of Jerome Ford? No, I don't think so. Pierre Strong, I like Pierre Strong a lot. The question is, what do you do with Nick Chubb? Is he going to be ready for the season? If he starts the season on the PUP list, he's got to sit out a month. So this is going to be a one to watch. Now, if you're looking at any kind of options, if you want to get rid of a Pierre Strong or a Jerome Ford, say the new offensive coordinator, new running back coach, Deuce Staley, says he's hopeless. So you're looking at guys like DeAndre Swift, $6 million a year possibly. Austin Eckler, about $5 million a year. Good veterans, excellent players. All right. So what's next? Wide receiver. This is a deep group. The Browns already have 6 wide receivers under contract. Of course, it's top heavy, very top heavy. Amari Cooper, expecting to make $20 million. Do you want to keep Amari Cooper? He's 29 going on 30. He's played the last 2 seasons slightly hurt. So do you want to bring him back? But he is a true number 1 receiver. So if they do bring him back, I don't see much motion in this. It depends on Michael Woods and if they want to keep Jalen Darden. I mean, nobody really has any guarantees of any of this group. I mean, you've got Elijah Moore for 1 more year at $1.9 million. Number 2 receiver, that's value. You got Tillman and Bell still on their rookie contracts. I could see him possibly drafting somebody if Michael Woods isn't ready on day 3. If you want to jump into the free agent market to bring in another guy, Marquise Brown would cost you about $10 million. Here's two names to keep in mind: the Bears, Darnell Mooney, and the Vikings, KJ Osborne. Now, these are two guys that could bring you that would cost you $8 or $5 million, respectively. So just kind of think of that. I am not going to sit here and preach for Higgins or any of the other big names, because it's just not going to happen unless they can find somebody to take Amari Cooper off their hands, and it's just not going to happen. All right, tight end. They got, of course, David Njoku, Jordan Akins, and Zaire Mitchell-Payton under contract. So Njoku just did a restructure, an extension. Akins, no guarantees. This is the one position on offense where I would take a day 3 tight end in the draft, unless you want to sign Harrison Bryant. Personally, I hope they don't sign him. You could find incredible talent. This draft is deep in good tight ends, day 3 tight ends who could come in and be your number 3. That's all you're asking. You're asking for somebody to come in and be your number 3 tight end. So next up, center. I don't see anything really impressive in there. Posick is signed. Do you want to bring back Nick Harris? I think they will. And then you got Luke Whitner still on a rookie contract. And the same goes with guard. They're going to have to do something with Wyatt Teller. He is your most tradable offensive piece to get cap room and to get value back. So you sign Michael Dunn, got Bitonio. Harris can play guard. I've seen Whitner playing guard. So the big question is tackle on the offensive line. What do you do? You got 4 tackles signed. I mean, Jack Conklin, he can't be let go until 2025. You got to do something about Jarek Wills. Now, I'll give Jarek Wills credit for one thing. He, before the bye week, he wasn't playing that great. Everybody saw it. After the bye week, somebody lit a fire under his butt, and he started playing better. Than 4 weeks later, he gets hurt. Jack Conklin has been hurt the last 2 seasons. You've got, of course, DeJuan Jones, who can step in for Conklin at a moment's notice, and you got your swing tackle. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. But anyway, do you want a veteran tackle to bring in? I do. The James Hudson, that's who I'm thinking of. James Hudson experiment, I think, is over. I just can't see it happening. All depends on the 2 new offensive line coaches. But you got guys like Donovan Smith, Kansas City. You could sign for $4.5 million. Cameron Fleming of Denver. There's another possible $3 million. Veteran swing tackles. So let's take a quick break, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about a few other things before I go. All right. So you got to be thinking when we're looking at free agents. And Andrew Berry loves picking guys, former first-round draft picks, and also players coming off their rookie deal. You get the players ascending in talent. They're not going to draft. They're not looking to draft starters. There's a basic rule around the Browns front office. You don't pay for depth, and that's what they look at the draft. Sure, occasionally a drafted player or an undrafted rookie free agent will start, like a Ronnie Harris and DeJuan Jones coming in, and DTR becoming the second string quarterback. But that's a rarity, especially when you have a team that's got this much talent in the starting lineup. So Just remember that. Don't get overexcited about, every player that's hyped on social media. Oh, they got to sign them. Browns have to sign that. Hello, Browns, sign this guy. No, you're looking for value and you're looking for price. That's why when free agency starts, the Browns don't come out of the gate real quick. But when they do come out of the gate, they come out very strong and you know what they're looking for. Last year, it was Delvin Tomlinson right out of the gate. They were in on Hargrove until the very end. The money was a little too rich. And so they took the second defensive tackle that Jim Schwartz wanted, and they got him. Then they got Okoronkwo. There's your pass rush. Then they got Desarius Smith, another excellent trade, by the way. And then later in the free agency, they picked up these veterans. So they also got Juan Thornhill early. Needed another safety. So next time, we're going to talk about the defense. And then the following show after that, I want to kind of look at wide receivers that may be available for Andrew Berry to trade for. He's done it the last 2 years. Might as well take a look at him. So next show, defensive free agents. I want to thank you. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Again, we appreciate you following us, watching, and listening. We're, like I say, we're just Browns fans like you. We love our Cleveland Browns. So everybody, I'll see you on the next show, talking defensive free agents, and go Browns.